Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti, along with Samantha Perry and Brian Nato, will be joining us a little later on. And I'm going to use the old term again. We got a Chamber of Commerce Day here this afternoon. Fast main track, firm turf course. It's absolutely gorgeous here in South Florida. And Samantha, yesterday, that was a great day of racing. That was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. It kind of felt a little championship meet-esque, and you had your hometown hero of the Florida Panthers owner here yesterday.
And they won in overtime last night, so
wow, there you
good
go.
turnaround. Yeah, so that was really good. And we'll talk about during the lightning round. We'll talk more about the winners of the Sire Stakes. Just want to tell everybody that and get back to once again. We got that fast main track, firm turf course, of course, the all-weather Tapeta. And let's see what's going on with the Rainbow Six today.
Yeah, there was no tickets alive yesterday, and the 5 out of 6 paid over $1,000. So look at this, $125,000 in that estimated carryover.
Yeah, that does not have. You could count on one hand how many times we get 5 out of 6 with nobody getting all 6 in there. I had 4. I had 4.
I did too. Yeah. Oh well.
4.
They don't pay for
that.
that.
Does not count. So, getting right into today's business, we'll call it. Brian's got an early pick 5 ticket. We'll check that out and then get into the rest of these races. Oh, $40 got lots of coverage in race number 1, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't either. And in race number 2, a little bit as well. Then he starts getting a bit more narrow with race 3, the 1 and the 2. Race number 4, there's a single of the 3 animated. I love that single here today. I think that colt should be long gone in there. And in race number 5, just 2 deep, the 3 and the 7. Gabagool, you like that horse quite a bit.
That was my long shot last week. Ended up finishing second. Guess what? Ridden by Rajiv Mirage. We'll also talk about that during the lightning round. He's making his comeback. But we got this first race to handle too. Interesting to see if you went like I did and Brian did with the number 3 horse in here.
I didn't. I went to the 5 on top. But you've got the horse in second. Sorority bid for Dave Fox. A slight drop in class. Going to switch to the Tapeta. Showed speed and faded. I think with the tightener out of the way, this horse looks a bit better.
Yeah, and we mentioned David. He's winning at like 23%. Yeah. He's having a real good sunshine meet. So certainly a major player in the reasons I did. The number 3 horse, Lala, in here. And this one with the drop, 50% drop in claiming price. So I found a stat that I wanted to show you on this horse here. And it is a pretty good one with the 50% drop. It sprints over the last 5 years, 28%. We knew it would be good.
Yeah.
52%, 175. And 50% is the money. So looks like we knew it was going to be like that. So
yeah.
I think that's the order. Now, what did we see with the 10 Simsara that we got a video about?
Well, I wanted to show that this horse lost a lot of ground here. Now, she's in a good spot right here, but watch what happens. And thank you guys, because she was one that was 3-2. You see, and whoop. Yep, not going to work there. And that's a very crucial part of the race, Ron, whenever you need to be going. And look at her. She's still just glued to the rail. She ran really hard here, especially to finish 4th after that. That's hard to lose that ground. It's just you need always forward momentum on the Tapeta. You don't win like that. And now today she gets the 10 post. And she's still even was running there as well. So.
Yeah, like you said, she lost that momentum in the critical part of the race. So someone you might want to look at, and that is the number 10 horse in here, who I have in 3rd on that ticket. So that is the first race, and it's as you saw Brian's ticket, it's a wide open affair. I know you got a 6-5 shot, but we made a couple of good cases for other horses in here. Race number 2 this afternoon, going to stretch it out to 1.70 miles odds on the Tapeta. These are maiden claimers, and they are 2-year-olds, and we have a scratch. We don't have a lot of scratches on the card, except for my long shot, which we'll talk about later. And Brian's got his pick 4 as a run back, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably just a run back, so he'll tweet that out. But a good second race here.
Yeah, and you went with the number 3.
Yeah.
Let's start there with Black Empire.
Yeah, dropping from the maiden special weight to the 50 level. Now, this race in itself, I feel like could be a maiden special weight race, but look, the horse has a start under his belt. Nice breeze over the Tapeta leading into this race too, and he ran on the Tapeta last time, so it's good that he came back in good form here, and I think that maybe he can turn the tides a little bit.
I got it highly rated just like
Yeah.
you did, but I did go with the outside horse in here, and this is Chas Sloan, and this from Jorge Delgado. And he comes out of that maiden special weight race where I know won a couple of races, in a row. So I found the stat on Jorge Delgado doing what he's going to be doing this afternoon, and this is maiden special weight to maiden, claiming over the past 3 years he's 32%, 55% in the money, 205 is the return investment. So, yeah. Didn't run that great in those races, but I think the drop is really going to help.
Yeah, I think so too. And this is a barn that, he's got the horses. Jorge Delgado's, he had a great summer at Monmouth Park. He's bringing the horses back down here for the winter time, so expect this barn to start picking up. I mean, I know earlier and all summer he was about 11%, but now look at this, 22% here. You just have to take note of this.
Yeah, we made note of it all summer long because he didn't really have his
yeah.
top stock here. But what about number 8, Tank? Is it Carlos David? Another one was in state bred, maiden special weight competition last time out. Showed that early speed and faltered in the stretch, but this barn, you got to give them a second look, especially in this spot.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. If you're just playing barn numbers and just the way that, these trainers have been going, especially this weekend, this is a barn, Carlos David, who took the Susan's Girl yesterday with Win and You're In, and a really impressive effort. But the 2 turns, they're throwing something at the wall, but I like the outside post, Ron.
Yeah, she's a tiny horse, but boy, she fit through that open in the
she
rail
did,
and closed real well. She's a nice horse. I'm interested to see if she can get the distance. I know the connections think it'll be no problem. We'll talk about that later on, too. Let's go to the third race. We're going to sprint on the Tapeta at 5 furlongs. Their claim is fillies, 3-year-olds, or fillies and mares 4 and up. Do have a couple of scratches in here of the number 5, Love Paradox, and the number 9, Roscoe Village. And Misprint is the horse that I have in second, and you have in, all the way back in fourth. You started it off with the number 7 in here, Capici.
Yeah, this horse has speed, Ron, and the non-winners of 2 level for the 16,000 that she ran 2 starts back was a really a competitive effort. They put her in a pretty tough race last time out, and now she's back with her $16,000 friends, and I think she should have a nice effort. The thing that what I like about her is she's got speed.
And she got Paco.
She does have Paco.
So, then I went with the number 2 horse in here, Omo 10 Girl, and this one from Victor Barboza. So it's first off the claim. You know this. I think it's 47% first off the claim. He's good with the layoff like this, 23%. Hey, but he's got the horse, I should say, has some tactical speed.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing the percentages by putting this one on top of the ticket.
Yeah, you have to. Victor Barboza is another barn that's just been having a fantastic year. Had a nice win yesterday on the grass course, so I think first off the claim. And they gave this filly some time, too, which I like that. I think that's okay when you're claiming for 16. It's fine. Some people don't think it's a good thing, but he's got her right, I bet.
And, they don't bring him back where he doesn't belong.
Exactly.
They don't step him up to 35 or whatever the case may be. Now, you got the number 1 Misprint in here, who is the morning line favorite in here. And I think we have a replay we want to show on Misprint in this race. We'll have put in second.
Yeah, Misprint is going to be a huge player here. Look, they love to bet the Bobby DeBono horses. Where she was in this spot is not a good place to be here. Just trying to find a seam on the inside. Unfortunately, she gets the rail again today. But that was not where you want to be. She tries really hard, Ron. Now, Hub City didn't run that well earlier. What was that last week? I think it was last week. Yep. But those 2 are stablemates too. But she kicked on more when she got that opening ground. Now it's just is she going to get a seam? What kind of trip is she going to get? She's at the mercy of the draw, unfortunately.
Yeah, the rail is always tough when horses run like they did. The number 8, Fair Hope Curly, you just look. Here's the thing. It's a drop. It's Steffi Joseph Jr. It's the hot apprentice, Micah Husbands. So right there you say, let me give this horse a second look. You have to.
You absolutely have to, especially on such a big class drop. Now she is facing older horses for the first time, but we'll see what happens. I think this is a much better level for her.
Let's go to race number 4 this afternoon. Hey, we're on the turf for race number 4, and these are maidens, and they are 2-year-olds, and we have a really nice full field of 10 horses in this race. I love these kind of races. We had a good one yesterday and again today, and you went with the number 3. Oh, you love this horse, Animated.
Yeah, I really do, and that is the single for Brian in his early pick 5, and I really would suggest singling this horse as well. And it's in the programs printed today. It wasn't when I printed.
Yeah.
Animated is getting blinkers on today. I didn't have that, and I just wanted to double check. And yes, it is. Animated does race with blinkers on. I think that should help. He's a nice, good-looking, straightforward son of Tappet. Joe Orsino's just much better second time out. It's hard to debut going 2 turns just in general, and now we're going to switch to the grass. You have the Kitten's Joy mare on the bottom side. This horse breezed 10-1 at that OBS April sale, and Demerick sold this horse, and they sell some really nice horses. He should love every bit of the grass.
Yeah, and it's a half to a horse called Sister Love Ann, who was a stakes winner on the turf.
Yes.
So lots to like there. And of course, I have it in third. Did I miss it? Maybe. We'll go with Big Boy Jack in here, Antonio Sano. Hey, that race we were talking about before with Shas Sloan, and it coming out of that same race. Maybe use that earlier race as a stepping stone to see how this one runs this afternoon. I thought it was a really good race on the turf last time out. Was on the lead until the end.
Yeah, exactly, and that's good. This horse has so much of a tactical edge on the field just because of the speed. But you know who this horse reminds me of? The horse yesterday, the 8 horse that kicked off the Rainbow Six that you see.
Yeah,
there.
and
he just kind of one of those horses that always seems like he should win and finds a way to get beat.
Yeah, yesterday that horse just ran in place like that.
Yep.
And what about the number 2 horse I want to talk about? Now, this is Meister Singer. This is Mark Cassie. He's got 2 in here. The other one is Captain Juna. So I just thought this horse, off its performance at Colonial, was the stakes race, Kitten Joy.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of these horses now that come from Colonial. They're not running that badly on the turf.
They're not, no.
So you sort of give a look. I mean, they thought enough of this horse to put it in the stakes. I'm going with the connections. We'll see how it runs in here. And I believe the other one, Captain Juna, is the morning line favorite in this race, the number 6.
Yeah, but and it's one of those races that it's just so wide open.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So Animated for Samantha and Brian. Brian single in his early pick 5. With that said, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six ticket. And this one, maybe it'll be a winner win today.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha. What a beautiful day here in South Florida. It's such a pleasure to be in South Florida this time of year. It's starting to turn a little bit here, and we got, Pumpkin Day just down the road.
It is coming up. That's your favorite holiday. So.
Yeah, Pumpkin Day is a really good one. With that said, the 5th race this afternoon, we're going to sprint on the Tapeta 5.5 furlongs. Claimers for 3-year-olds and upward. Another gigantic field here like we have throughout the afternoon with no scratches in the race. And I'll show you my Rainbow Six ticket. And I went 4 deep in here. And I'll talk about this race in a moment. And race number 6, 3 deep for me. Bojaka Blessing is the one to beat in there, but I had some interest in the number 2 horse stepping up for Carlos David. I'm going to single this horse, and Ashima, just such a big drop. What am I doing here? Is this a sucker horse? I don't know. Race number 8, my top pick is the 7, Silver Moonlight. Race number 9, too deep for me. I think it goes through the 7, Awesome Crusader, or the 6, Fulanito. And then in the last race, once again, a wide open affair. I went 4, 9, 11, the 9 being my top pick 3 times. Gerald Bennett and Sammy Camacho. I've had some success with them.
Yeah, well, they've had a very successful summer right now.
I'm so interested to see how you started this race.
Wow. Well, can you guess?
No, you didn't go with the Northborough members?
It's my long shot. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
No.
No, sorry, this isn't mine. Sorry. This horse here today, look, it's Victor Barboza. He's been knocking at the door since the claim, but has just always I don't want to say running in place, but it's like he just never wants to pass through those last couple horses down the stretch. It's very frustrating to watch because I think Victor Barboza really has this horse on the right trajectory. It's just he can't get it done. I'm hoping to get it done today.
You know, and I couldn't trust it totally. I know because of the Game of Thrones and all that, you would have it on top.
Yeah.
But this horse, just for that reason, just doesn't seem to get the job. I'm explaining why I went 4 deep in this race. Gabagool, as we mentioned a little bit, we teased you a little bit, is my long shot last time. I think this horse will run well. First off the claim by Colin Marat, and who's riding? Rajiv Mirage.
Yeah, very exciting to see him back. Been off for a couple years, so welcome back.
And then the number 7, Truth and Honesty from Jose D'Angelo. Hard luck to leave these connections off your ticket.
Yeah, it really is, especially with Paco Lopez. Great outside draw, has run behind the North Remembers as well. We see this with the Tapeta a lot, Ron, that these horses, they just cycle in and out of form. Yesterday with Cabernet, he was 30 to 1, I think, and the Rainbow Six really just kind of blew up the Rainbow Six some, and he had been running the same as kind of like the North Remembers and just finally got it done.
And this horse you see behind Gabagool, that's going 5.
Right.
Does the stretch out once again help him going 5.5? But if you look too back, he was 35.5.
Exactly.
So that normal handicapping, you say, well, stretching out that other half a furlong is going to help. It didn't help too far back. I mean, you use them on your ticket just like we did. We basically have the same 3-4 horses up there in different order, and it's wide open, and you can make a case for all of these horses in this race.
You truly could. It's very complicated.
When we go to race number 6 this afternoon, it's going to be 1 mile, and if you're just joining, it's a beautiful day here. We've got a fast main track. These are maiden filly 2-year-olds. We did have a scratch in here of the number 6, Sophia Payola, and this is where you start your late pick 5.
Yeah, and Ron, I don't know about you, but this whole card today, especially the latter half of the card, I didn't have any strong opinions. This was a tough sequence here. We'll take a look at my ticket. I don't have a single at all. I don't typically, sometimes I don't like playing a ticket unless I have a single, at least seriously, but I think I've got the right horses, and we'll get into it. I just don't have any really strong opinions. I think Animated is probably my best opinion of the day, but we'll see. That's earlier. Race 7, I do have the number 10 on top. That is Fantastica. Race number 8 on the grass, I have my long shot, and that is the number 9, Miss Bia, but I love Silver Moonlight. If I didn't have my long shot, I would be singling Silver Moonlight. Race number 9. The feature, what a wide open race, but the 7 on top for me, Awesome Crusader. I just don't sleep on ours for sure, too. The number 8 for Carlos David off the claim. And then in the finale, just too deep for me, but I do have the number 11 on top. That is Ivanra.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's one tough sequence here.
Yes.
Starting it off in this race, the horse that, is the morning line favorite at 9-5 and is, well, we have a video that we want to show of Bojaka Plessing.
Yeah, this horse is going to get some extra ground here in her second start. Always good to have another start under your belt. And she pressed the issue early on here in this race. They went 22.46. That was decent enough. Now, Warlord ran fourth here. Warlord kind of is a horse that just meddles at that just even running style, so the stretch out should help. Bojaka Blessing ran quite well first time out, was still trying. She's on her left lead there. She doesn't end up switching. She's tighter this time around. Maybe she won't have to work as hard on the front end, but unfortunately, you draw the rail, you might have to.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that plays. I mean, I got a stat that I want to show you, that horse. So, and we don't show many stats for Adolfo Garcia, and this is Sprint the Route over the past 5 years. Just think, hey, it's good. 28%, 44% of the money, and he's got a positive return of investment. You're always showing stats of Cassie or this. I mean, when you look at these trainers, sometimes you go, wow, look at this.
Exactly.
So just adds to maybe the shot that Bojaka Blessing has in this race. And I mentioned earlier that I had some interest in the number 2, Anel, and this one I believe is 6-1 on the morning line. This horse just, I thought would run better with the blinkers on. First time in the barn for Carlos David. So I just thought maybe we get, you got it on top, so,
Yeah, well, see, I'm not a huge fan of the Mendelssohn Offspring. They're very frustrating horses to me because I think that they're very good looking, and a lot of them, they just don't run, and I can't figure out why. But they're going to put the blinkers on her today. Makes the trainer switch from the Rudy Brissett barn. Now, there was a similar horse yesterday in the same situation, but what I like is they're going to try her on the dirt for the first time. I like that move here today. She might just not be any good, but this is a good group for her to try it out.
Yeah, you got to play these percentages.
You do.
Joe Bravo's running. Well, now, my Denise, the number 4 horse, you look at its last race, it was back in August, finished, third behind Our Morning Brew. Okay, Our Morning Brew didn't come back and win yesterday, but that's a good horse. That was
Very
a good race there, and I think this horse has a shot in here.
And she's going to get back to a fast track, too, which I think will help.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. That is race number 6. Race number 7, stretching out on the Topeka once again at a mile in the 16th. These are claimers. They're fillies, 3-year-olds, or fillies and mares 4 and up. Scratch the number 1 horse in here, Polar of Trouble. And another full field with 9 runners in here. And Brian put a late pick 4 ticket together. Interesting to see if he could figure out this. So, same thing you did.
Yeah.
Deep and deep. And then race number 9, he's got the 6 in there. And that is Fulanito, one of the horses we used on our tickets, I believe. I know I did in there, 6 and 7. And then in the last, it's wide open once again.
It is. Yeah, it really is. This is a hard sequence today. It truly is. And sometimes whenever you think it is, all of a sudden it just gets super chalky and you're like, did I overthink this? I don't think that's the case today, Ron. I hope not, because, wow, this race especially I looked at for a long time trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tough one.
Yeah.
So, with that said, I'm going to play the chalk in here. Well, yeah, I think it's the choice. And that's Ashima, who I used as my best bet today. And, this horse, here's the problem. Well, it's a good problem, I think, if the horse runs well. It's a big drop from where this horse was running to the $8,000 level. But that race last time out produced 4 next out winners. I mean, do you trust this horse? Then you look at the connections, Jose D'Angelo. Is this a fire sale, MCL Jaramillo, or do they just want that win?
Fire sale. I've never heard that. That's a good one. I like that. See, when you hang out with older guys like you learn some stuff.
I was waiting for that. Go ahead.
Had to. Okay. Look, is this horse just a trick, or what did you call it? Like a sucker bet?
Yeah.
Maybe. What a big drop here. The Topeka races are good. You would hope for a big effort today.
I want to hear about Fantastica,
Okay.
because this one is a price, which I like in this race. And I am not, like you said, I'm not sold on, even though I made that horse my best bet. Nothing I would run home and talk about.
I know, that's the thing. And I'm actually kind of happy because look at the race 2 starts back, who defeated her, Cabernet.
Yes.
So Cabernet came back to win yesterday. She seems like one of those horses that winning by 4 lengths on the Topeka is tough all on its own, and she did it. She went to the bench for a little bit. Javier Negrete has done a very good job with just 14 starters this Royal Palm meet, and I think that, or pardon me, the Sunshine meet. Yeah. And I love the outside post here.
Yeah, so we say that. I'm glad you used the 2 on your ticket.
Yeah.
A little further down here. And this is Darling, because this one steps off. Talking about a nice win.
Yeah.
Mile 70 yards. Beats 2 lifetime claimants by 7 lengths.
That's impressive.
So you see how the runs, and of course we mentioned throughout the day and throughout the weekend how good David Fawkes has been going. So always Brian's got a bunch of horses in this race, and probably rightly so.
Yeah.
We got a video we want to show with our awesome source, Andy One, and Love My Job.
Yeah, you do, don't you? The gang is all here, and I think that it's a good thing to show Andy One, because it seems like Andy One, they tend to bet a lot, and I know Brian has taken this horse so many times. I kind of want to hit him whenever he does. She leaves herself with so much to do, and it's hard to win from here, but she ran well this day. Love My Job. Love My Job actually ran sneaky good here, but on the left lead late and was just passed by Andy One. Our Awesome Sauce, I think you can do without today.
Yeah, so this horses then adds to the intrigue
Yeah.
in race number 7 to kick off the late pick 4. Going to race number 8, we are on the turf, and this is the leg B, I believe, of the Coast to Coast.
Yeah,
today.
it kicks off with Santa Anita, a race at Santa Anita, race 2, and then it comes to us.
For
So
the second leg, and
Yep.
this is at mile and 16th on the turf. These are maidens, and they're fillies advanced 3-year-olds and up. My long shot, as I mentioned, got scratched, and it was the number 3 horse in here, Starship Boeing. I was expecting a big race out of that horse, but
I was
hey,
too, I know.
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
another day. So you scratched it, or you had on top all along,
Yeah.
I should say, sorry, Miss Bia.
I did 20-1 on the line, and
Whoa.
she should be. So I have been waiting and waiting for this horse to go 2 turns on the grass. Her effort back in May, going 5 furlongs on the turf course, she tried really hard and she galloped out so good. They got her going 2 turns last time on September 15th. It was rained off the Tapeta. She finished 6th. It was a way better 6th place finish than it looks on paper, Ron. And it was at a big price too. And Jose Ferrer was on her, and it just really got a lot of aggressiveness out of her. I guess is that a word? I'm not sure, but it got a lot more out of her early on, and she kind of paid the price. And I remember I was talking to the connections after the race, and I was like, oh man, I hope you finally get her on the grass 2 turns. It's a perfect outside draw. She might not be any good, but here's the thing. I'll take a shot with her here today.
You make a great case. So
Yeah.
right there, you made a fantastic case for it. Like that. Now I scratched into Silver Moonlight, who you said you would have had on top,
Yeah.
except for your long shot in here. And, Safi Joseph Jr., and you just look, that race at Kentucky Downs finishes 4th. They put the blinkers on
Yep.
this afternoon. So looks like the one to beat, the morning line favorite in there. I guess so.
Yeah, but this is a nice filly, and I think that it speaks volumes, the fact that they take her to Kentucky Downs to run for those big purses there. I liked her a lot whenever she was with Ralph Nix, and I think that they've got her on the right path to being a pretty nice filly.
Tell us what you saw with the number 5, Mama Bella.
Oh, you don't have Mama Bella. Well, we'll take a look at her race, and this is your favorite track, so I love for you to try to find her here, but I won't make you try to find her here at Kentucky Downs. Thank you, guys. She's the number 10 here. Frankie Dettori rode her. She made a big run, but this last bit of Kentucky Downs, when they have to go back up the hill again, and she's on the rail there, she got tired. That is, I feel like, the tipping point between a horse that is really good and fit and can handle it and not. But she was second by a head before they came up that upward hill. Now we're going to get flat ground again. Jose D'Angelo, Joe Bravo. Joe and Jose D'Angelo have actually done really good together.
Uphill, downhill, I still
All
can't figure
kinds
that.
of hills,
I
yeah.
can't figure that place
I
out.
can't
there.
either, yeah.
And we'll see how it plays out in here, Then you got Gazella, this one, a $250,000
Yeah.
daughter of Ghost Sapper, debuting for Mark Cassie. Hey, I had a first time started from Mark Cassie yesterday. Went closed like a monster. And that
Beautiful.
was going 2 turns, and we were sort of had some trepidation because of 2 turns in its
Exactly.
debut. So I'm going to go with that again. Miguel Vasquez in the saddle today, 12-1 on the morning line. Could I change long shots? Maybe I'll make this one my long shot.
Hey, you should.
I don't think that's in the rules.
No.
A race number 9 this afternoon, sprinting on the Tapeta. It's an allowance optional claimer. And this one has 1 scratch in here. It's the 2 David Songs. And these are state-bred 3-year-olds and upwards. And another race that... little tough. We both have the 7 Awesome Crusader on top of our ticket.
A little tough. This race is I have no idea what's going to happen here, but what I hope happens with the 7 Awesome Crusader is that staying on the Tapeta here, first off the claim, a little bit of a freshening up, should be sharp today.
And that was a good race back
It
then.
was.
Produced a couple of next down winners, which I always like. So we'll see how that runs. Luis Ramirez is the trainer. Brian had a single in here with the horse. You're going to show a video with the Fulanito.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. This is a 3-year-old here. He's faced a 3-year-old and up in his last 2, so that's a good sign. He's actually beat 3-year-olds and up before in his maiden special weight event, and they brought him back, and he ran really big here. He's a horse that there's going to be no question of where he is, and it's going to be on the lead. Amisael Jaramillo is the one who's going to run. But look who he gave it away to, a Roki. 50-1 this
Wow.
day. This was for Gerald Bennett. We actually saw Roki yesterday
Right.
in one of the Florida Sire Stakes. No good, but wow, that was that horse ran his eyeballs out to get beat.
Yeah, so we'll see how that runs. And like Brian has enough faith in that horse and the conditions to
Yep.
single it in his late pick 4. What about Junction Road? We both had some interest in. And this is Rohan Crichton. Comes off a win on the Tapeta. They're good. One last start. They're 17%. Rohan. It's Rohan. So you know it's going to run well.
Yep.
And you're not afraid when guys like this step up their horses, after a win.
Yeah.
Gave it a freshening, a little bit of a freshening, a couple of 3 weeks. Maybe the horse comes back and wins.
Yeah, he could. Cutting back that half furlong, and I'm glad you said it earlier with it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. It really is, because you look at his effort going 5, and I had noted that day that he galloped out huge, and then he went to 5.5, boom, wins.
Right. So does it work reverse too when it's 5.5 and you cut back to
Yes.
5? That's like handicapping 101 to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You always,
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because there's
How
some.
fast can you run a half a furlong?
Jeez, you got to start with a sand tire.
We won't make you do it.
I used
Don't
to
worry.
be able to run pretty fast many moons ago. That's 2, old guy got you. I'm going to get her later. Don't think that she gets away with this. It's not. I don't just let it slide. Go into the last race this afternoon. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races in life. Scratch the 10. Princess Miss Emil and. It's so scratch the 5.
Wow.
Oh,
All right.
we didn't
We've
have
got a
those.
late
So
scratch of the 5
Super's
here.
Lucky lady. That's a late one.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
the one that Rajid. The other one Rajid was going to ride. So don't forget, when we're done, Pete Aiello comes on.
Yeah,
he'll
he'll
give you
give you
all the
those.
updated
Yep.
scratches. We just got that one in there. So let's start it off with the number 11, Evanora, who's going to break from the outside. But hey, now 2 scratches to its inside.
Yeah, that works out, and now we'll look at the replay.
Yeah.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evanora 3 times and must
Yes.
have been love.
Must have been love. Now 3 times. Ran well here. I really like the way Evanora ran. I love this post here today. Vallesta is a nice horse, I think. I really do think Vallesta is a nice horse. So this is a competitive race to come out of. 3 times ran well. Evanora ran well. I don't really want any part of Must Have Been Love today.
Yeah.
No, not today.
I went with 3 times and, finished behind Evanora.
Right.
But like I said, I've had luck with the connections. They've run well. I like the fact that this horse can stalk from that post, it'll be post 8 now. So I just think it would be a good horse to have. And as we mentioned at the top, very wide open. Then you got the 4 horse in here, Lita, this one from Steve Clisaris with the 1. The only Paco Lopez in the saddle.
Great post position as well on the outside. They put the blinkers on her last time. She's 5 years old. I don't really see the point in it, but the fact now is she gets back into that restricted non-winners at 2 level, and that will fit her well. And she's run well on the Tapeta, 1 win.
Yeah, and she was a Colonial, Delaware, so she's got a lot of frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
And, hey, put the blinkers on. You got to try every once in a while. You got to try something different.
That's
I know
true.
you're a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So we're done with that as far as handicapping goes. I'm thinking things to say about her, but she's too perfect. I can't find anything. So let's go to the lightning round.
Okay, yeah, you can try a little bit later. Don't worry. But yeah, the lightning round. What a day it was. You mentioned it at the top, Ron. Oh, it was so fun and rated by Merrill. We'll start off with him. He was a nail biter for a little bit, don't you think? Just at the top of the stretch, Neoclose ran huge, trying to get after him, but rated by Merritt, just too good.
Yeah, just too good. And I spoke to Mike Yates after the race, and the first thing he said to me, one of the things he said, that Neo Equos, that's a good horse.
It is,
So,
yes.
to shake free from him, it's not that,
No.
there was a bunch of tomato cans in here. There's a couple of good horses
There
in
were,
there.
yeah.
And he was very impressive doing it.
Yep, it's exciting for him, and of course, in 1 month's time, we'll stretch him out to 1 mile and a 16th. Of course, that's the first finish line, short stretch. He should handle it.
Third day of the championship meet.
Yeah,
right?
you're
November
right,
30th, yeah. So
Right after Pumpkin Day, a little
right
after.
a little after Pumpkin Day.
And
now,
then-
what else we got?
Win and you're in.
Oh,
You and Brian liked her the last race. I was completely against her. Then I we convinced all of ourselves that our morning brew, she was just a little flat. And this happens with fillies. Look at Win and You're In. She shot through a hole, and in the last race, she was not like that at all. But she was pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, she was behind a couple of horses turning for home, and it looked like there was going to be, nowhere for her to go. And she found that seam and just exploded into the stretch. She looks she's going to be a good one, and I know that we'll have some notes on it. Our staff and the connections think this one can certainly get the added distance. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we will indeed. And then we mentioned earlier that back in the saddle, we've got Rajiv Mirage returning to the saddle today.
Yeah, I'll be riding one today. It's a shame we thought we'd see him in both.
I know,
but
but
that happens.
Yeah.
So always good, coming back from about 2-year layoff.
Respite.
What do you call it? You call it a little layoff, I guess?
Yeah, layoff. Yeah, a little bit.
We'll call it a vacation.
Yeah, but good to see him back. Once it's in your blood, it's hard to come back.
And coast to coast, of course, as you mentioned, starting race 2 at Santa Anita?
Race 2 at Santa Anita. Then we've got 8 and 9, Boom Boom here, and then 4 and 6. Big fields here, big fields at Santa Anita. They've got a carryover in their pick 6 at Santa Anita today. Carryovers everywhere. Here, Santa Anita, Keeneland, New York. Whoa, big
everywhere.
day. Big day.
And you can always bet all of those races right here in our beautiful Silk Simulcare Center. And you can bet Samantha's best bet. And what is that?
It is the North Remembers.
The North. Why did I even ask? Mine is in race number. We'll see what this horse does with the big drop.
Yeah.
Ashima. I lost my long shot. What's your long shot?
Well, I'll carry it for the both of us with Miss Bia.
Miss B, I love that one. 21. You made a great case for that. So that's how we see everything. And as we promised, Pete Aiello will be up right now to give you all those changes that you need. And the three of us, the Three Musketeers, will be back all day long, right?
Yep, we will.
Good luck.